Hello and welcome back to the Emotionless podcast. My name is Logan, and as always, I will be your host. I do want to go ahead and apologize if the audio sounds a little bit funky. I got diagnosed with a cold today, so I don't feel fantastic. But that is not going to stop me from pumping out episodes for you guys. Today's episode. Oh, I'm going to eat a cough drop. Yeah. Today's episode is called You're Safe With Me, I Promise. And this is part 18. This is part 18 of the Title 9 series. And yeah, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I get back to the Beacon campus, as we know. Have roommates from hell, which you've heard a couple of the stories, but who do I have more? Including one where one of my roommates walked out completely naked in front of all of my friends. Some people are just impressive. Anyways, so the reason I called this episode You're Safe With Me, I Promise. This is actually my second time recording it because the first time the mic wasn't properly hooked up. It was plugged in, but it wasn't hooked up. So my computer captured the audio instead of this microphone, and it sounded like garbage. And I do not release garbage content. Well, no, I do release garbage content, but I do not release garbage audio. And also, sorry if you hear. That's me chewing on a cough drop because I don't feel good. And it makes my throat feel better. So, the reason I called this episode You're Safe, I Promise is actually because of an exact quote Claire said to me, which is, "You're safe, I promise." And let's explain how that happened. So, I was very hesitant I wanted to hang out with Claire because Claire is a very, very fun person, and I have a lot of extremely amazing memories of her, including her being absolutely terrified on the Disney monorail because she didn't understand it. Because she didn't get how it was like floating on the concrete barriers, which is not what's happening, but it's kind of what's happening. And so I finally caved and I hung out with her on the third day. And I went over to her apartment wearing a mask because this was like January 2021, so the world was still eating shit COVID-wise. I mean, not that it's like that much better now, but it's better for sure, but it's still pretty bad. Trying to think how to tell this story. So I go over and I knock on a person's door that I'm going to find the name of in the file I saved on Snapchat because that's where I wrote it out at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I went over to Justin's apartment, which is right next to Harry's apartment. And I gave them, I knocked on the door. Sorry, I'm having a hard time remembering this right now, and that's probably because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, but, regardless. I knocked on the door, and Claire opened the door and she's like, "Logan, oh, I'm so good to see you. Oh, you can take that silly mask off. We've all tested negative. We're fine." And I'm like, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And she's like, "Okay." And it's like, "Can I talk to you in private?" And again, she was like, "Okay." So she comes out on the porch and I'm like, "I need you to make 3 promises to me." And she's like, she's like a little sketched out at this point. I think if any, the first time you see somebody in nearly in a little over 6 months, and that's the first thing they say, I think anyone would be sketched out. And I go, one, I need you to promise me that nothing's going to happen to me. I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm not going to get reported. I'm not going to have to deal with the authorities. I'm not going to get arrested, high, drunk, drugged, kidnapped, assaulted, anything. I need you to promise that to me. She's like, Logan, you're safe with me. I promise. Nothing's going to happen. And I go, two, I need you to promise me that no matter what, if I do something that you do not like, no matter if it's a sneeze, you tell me immediately to stop. And you don't be funny about it unless you're joking. So if you say, ha ha ha, stop, I'm going to take that as a joke. But if you take, Logan, stop, that's serious. And then 3, I need you to promise me that you are not going to manipulate Rebecca, Rachel, or Jessica. You are not going to try to get Rebecca, Rachel, or Jessica against me. And you are not going to talk to Rebecca, Rachel, or Jessica about me without my consent. Understood? She's like, Logan, why are you being so strict? I'm like, because I'm not going through what I went through last semester again. I'm not getting kicked off campus because of your foolishness. She's like, foolishness? What my foolishness? And I'm like, you know exactly what you did, and I'm not getting into it. Basically, she sat right next to me when the hate book was written, and I asked that they would interview her so that she would get the same punishment as me since she was part of it, and she completely lied to them and told them that she had no part of it, had no idea it even happened, and was disgusted by it. We love compulsive liars. Yeah. So I go into the apartment a little bit reluctantly, and I have a fun time. You know, we watch some Netflix, we watch a little bit of YouTube, we're just having a hangout, we're having a good time. I think, okay, all right, you're going to be okay. You're going to get away with this. You're not going to get in trouble. No one's going to yell at you. No one's going to do anything. You're going to be fine. I was so fucking wrong. It's not even funny. Like, it's literally not even funny. That's how wrong I was. So, we're hanging out. We're having a good time. I go home for the night. I'm like, all right. You know what? That was a lot. Let's take a break. No more Claire for a week. So I don't hang out with her for about a week. And then she texts me. She's like, are you okay? Are you mad at me or something? And I'm like, no, I want to make any time we have sparse in between. I promised Jessica, Rachel, and Rebecca that I would hang out with them more than anyone because I owe it to them. Because they have done so much to help me get back on this campus. And she's like, I've done so much too. Which is not true. But, she was stuck up and pent up in her own little world. I don't know. And, I don't even know. She was in her own little world. And I just was letting her be in her own little world. Because at the end of the day, I know that if I had ever done anything to upset Jessica, Rebecca, or Rachel, they would have told me in a heartbeat. In fact, there are times that I've upset them, and they've told me straight away, they're like, Logan, don't do that again. Logan, that upset me. Logan, please don't do that again. They're quick, they're concise, and they make it exactly what it should be. And nothing more. And that's something I really, really appreciate about them. Um, so that is You're Safe With Me, I Promise, which is episode 20 something or another. Episode 29, part 18 of the Title IX series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you guys real soon. Bye-bye.